Okay, hi Cassandra. Working on your photojournalism critique here, kind of taking a look at all the pictures, thumbnails here in general. And so looks like you're going to take a little walk in the park. Looks like this might be maybe Lomire, I'm not sure. Um, anyway, let's go through here and see what's what here. All right. So we got your information about your camera. So you got a PowerShot 1300. You set your ISO at 200. Hopefully you set your ISO. And your exposure is 1,000th of a second. Okay, that's good. Okay, so you got your time here. It's nice that you're, showing you got your keys and your mace and your watch and everything. And in terms of starting out, I guess that's pretty good. A lot of times, oh, okay. I like this little detail. Very clever to be able to show a nice little detail. How it's a nice day out. You set this time of day. Good. And then you set the fact that you're wearing sandals here, and that it must be pretty warm out to go walking like this. Okay. All right. And then you've got a couple of doggies. That's good. All right. And then a little girl to go with you. Okay, good. Or maybe this is another person that you're going with here. Okay, so and then we jump right into the park here, and this little structure at the park. And then this, so we'll just kind of run through these real quick here. And then like a creek in the park. Okay, and then the dogs discover, oh, they're getting some water. You've given them some water. And then you've got an apple. Oh, you're feeding them some apple. And then you have a shot of the girl. Okay, and then she's walking with the dogs. Okay, and dog tracks, like that nice little detail there. And then the dog's looking up the trail. Now you got kind of muddy on your sandals there. Good. Oh, okay. Now you set your time is at, the couple hours later. Okay. That's leaving the park. Okay. And a very tired child. Okay. That's good. Okay. Now let's take a look at the details. All right. Okay. In terms of telling the story, it's always hard to tell a story if you are the subject of the story. Usually it's easier when you're taking pictures of somebody else, so you can concentrate on getting a perspective of close in and farther away. When you do it yourself, you can't get a picture of yourself in action. I like this detail of the dogs. I think that's nice. They're really anticipating. But I don't get a sense of the travel. Okay, here's the car, but I don't get a sense of the travel between your house and then all of a sudden here's the park. It'd be nice if there was like something where you get a sense that you're actually driving in the car or you're pulling into the parking lot, or there's a sign. Now you have the sign where you're leaving, so if you had something where you were coming in, that would maybe make a little more sense than going from here to here. And then in terms of, I'm not sure what this detail. Now, if you could see her a little bit more in there, then that would maybe contribute to the story. But this all by itself, not really necessary for the story. Definitely you want to show people and your dogs, because that's what's going on in the walk, and not so much. Basically you want to show a relationship between your the dogs and the little girl, and what's happening on the walk, and not so much like here's a creek, but were they playing in the creek? And then this is nice where the dogs are right there, and then there's this apple, and maybe you could show yourself biting into the apple. Here's the dogs are working on it. Okay. Okay, I love this detail right here of the dog footprints in the mud. I think that's really a nice thing to show. That's definitely a relationship to things going on. And I love this where they're looking up the trail. That's really nice too. Um, you know, this is okay to show this, but it's a little out of focus and it's not sharp. And so, okay, nice detail. I like the little details where you're showing the time. And also on the iPhone where you're showing the weather. And this is a very nice touch. I like definitely that you're you know, now you're leaving, and very sweet to end with the very sleeping child in the car. So that's very nice. But what I would suggest is first off, make sure that you're adjusting your ISO, because it looks like your ISO is all over the place. Like 800 is a little high for something like this for outside. And then I notice as you go along, let's see, it changes. Okay, this is now 200. That's good. That's really good. Now it's back up to 800, and my guess is that it's, you know, based on the dog's nose being a little darker, that you know, you're setting the camera's setting the the ISO. So make sure that you set the ISO for outside. So when you're outside, 200 is good. Like here, 800 is you know, in full sunlight, not necessary. So 800 is good when you're inside. 200 is good when you're outside. You know, and so here the camera set the ISO for 400. Make sure you're setting that ISO yourself. Okay, but otherwise, in terms of telling a story, it's good. But consider those other little details, and maybe, you know, in some of the shots where, like for instance, you know, like where there's the dogs aren't in the picture or the girl isn't in the picture, don't use those, but then add in some other ones. I mean, you don't have to add them now, but definitely think in terms of, you know, any kind of future things where you might want to add some other shots like that if you ever have to tell a story with your camera again. But otherwise, for the assignment, everything looks good. Thanks very much.